And Young Rippa, Eric July, and the Rippaverse crew are coming to San Diego Comic-Con, and it's gonna be huge!
As I suspected, 32 flavors.
Well, you've seen it. You now know about it. It is confirmed. There was kind of vague hints going on between the boys a few days ago, and it's official. And it's really nice to see. And of course, he's going to be in very good company, as Mr. Rippa himself will be doing a panel with Chris Gore and Ellen Nig. I honestly don't know him all that well. I do know he's from Film Threat with Chris Gore. And I know Gary of Nerdrotic and Quarter Black Garrett are going to be there well. And I know Rippa is also doing a CGC panel as well, and he's also going to be with Gabe El Taib, who is also the colorist of the ISOM books, and his own creator-owned book, which should be actually shipping to me by tomorrow, Truth, Justice, American Way, for his Big Man Comics company that he's now operating under. So, this is obviously big news, and I think it's obviously fantastic news, but I want to talk about more about what this could do for the future of comics and just the culture and entertainment in general, because we all know this is fantastic news if you are a sane human being. What I like out of this is the door is now open for people like this to make way and be a part of these big things. Have we needed these things? Not necessarily, because we all saw with Rippa at $3.7 million, Razor Fist doing 300,000 plus in 1 month. If he had won longer, he could have hit 500K. Critical Drinker doing very well with his short film. So we're doing great without these types of big giant monolithic organizations. But is it great in terms of who we reach out to say, hey, let's get ourselves in front of a whole new wave of people just so they could say, hey, this is who we are, this is what we're about? Absolutely. So this is just really just big fat bonus and an icing on the cake. And I see two things out of this. With guys like Rippa on there, this could lead the door to the Critical Drinker maybe coming to Comic-Con next year. Maybe him and Mahler might go there. There could be maybe even a show there. I mean, maybe I'm thinking a little bit overly ambitious. This could be like a future FNT panel at a San Diego Comic-Con. This could lead to a lot of maybe a whole artist alley, where it could be guys like Razor Fist, it could be guys like Jason Sandberg with Jupiter. I would love to be in that world where all these creators that I know and love are saying, you know what, yes, we are the entertainment now. We are the culture of comic books. We are that now. Now, if that means that they get to stand alongside a guy like a Mark Miller, that's great. That's awesome. And he creates Jim Zub with Conan. It's great. This is a good thing. And on top of it, what I see, especially with all the strikes going on, this is an opportunity to make the San Diego Comic-Con about being, wait for it, a Comic-Con. We are way past the days of where it was about that first. It's been so much about movies, which obviously there was a great honeymoon era with the MCU, but now we're past that. And it's right, the movies and the shows lead first, even though these things wouldn't exist if it weren't for the source material itself. So this is a way to say, let's make the comics the main thing again. These things are meant to be a niche thing. We didn't know then because we thought, hey, what happened if this stuff hit a wider, broader audience? And once again, there was a good phase of it for a while, but now it's been so deeply infiltrated by the wrong personnel that we're seeing, the aftermath of that. And it's not good. And it's brought us a lot of the disasters we have seen in more recent years, whether it was in the comics or especially in the movies. So this is a great way to make the comics the priority again. We need creators. It doesn't matter if they're right wing. It doesn't matter if they're left wing even. I mean, Danny O'Neill is a lefty. He was like an old school hippie. We need creators who are there for the cause, for saying, hey, you know what? These books need to be front and center again. These need to be prioritized. So, and even Mr. Gunn, I know he's been outspoken about the comic books before. If he wants to tip his hat and say, you know what, I'm going to do this for the comics. I'm not really betting on it, but just something to ponder. Anyone who's going to say, hey, we got to make the comics priority. These movie stars, guess what? They wouldn't have these roles if it weren't for these characters existing in comic books. So I'm just saying this is a good way, the first good step, and I don't think this is going to change in a year or two. That's crazy. I think overall, realistically, like 10, 15 years at most. Now, could I be wrong? It happens sooner? Sure. But I'm just thinking the long game here. I think we have the very first small step toward creators on this other side of the economical structure of comic books and media now having their foot in the door into this stuff. And you know, if they happen to coincide with any of the guys who are part of the current mainstream wave, that's great. And if the mainstream wave that is the current crop don't want to be a part of it just because these guys are involved, well, that's their loss. Because if they really cared about the love of comic books, they would put their own garbage aside set for this. So I'm optimistic about this. I think this is the very first step towards a very bright, brilliant future. And you know, it gives something for people to look forward to in California. People have their opinions on the state. I've heard San Diego, though, is still a pretty great city. I've never been there, but this seems like a good opportunity to have something good coming to California. So I don't know what you think. I'll hear your thoughts in the comments. Tell me what you think are your predictions. And I will see you all time on the Comic Shop Talk, talking ASM 33 through 36 from the legendary Lee and Ditko run. And you have a fantastic evening.